Hello there, it's me, Sari, here again, and today I'm here to show you a couple of comic strip stamping technique layouts that I have been inspired to do by Sandy Allnock. You can see her channel on YouTube. She's got lots of beautiful detailed tutorials and examples of how to do things, so please check them out. I was totally blown away when I saw the idea of making a comic strip stamping layout or card or something, if we were to just make it a little bit smaller, with the bird crazy images from Tim Holtz. In this case I've just made it into a sort of A4 sized complete page layout, and I didn't really know what to do with it or what to use it for, but I just wanted to give it a go. I was aching to make it work because I saw her video and I was so inspired by it. So I've used lots of other stamps from Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous, and in this case I didn't have the vellum, so I had to make myself a template in Word, and I made the lines rather faint, as you can see there under the feet there, so I would have some kind of an idea of where to place the stamps. After having stamped and colored the images, I decided on highlighting the lines around each sort of block, and I used a pencil with a small nib and a ruler to do so. And I really like this technique. And in my book this is a sort of a combination of masking techniques and collage stamping and just making comic strip things. It's really something that I have wanted to make, really, when I come to think of it. I have wanted to make these things for a long time because I really like the sort of manga drawing, sketchy, fun looking with strong bold colors kind of scrapbooking or card making or paper crafting for that matter. And in this case I just stamped the bird first, put a mask on, and then I did some collage stamping in the back, and I really like that one. And well, I just used several stamp kits from Tim Holtz. I can't really remember all of them, but I could perhaps write them down in the description box below so you know where to go, which ones to look for. I have colored these images in and all of the other images with some Spectrum Noir markers, and I really like those pens, I must say. They really work nicely. So here is that one of my favorite birds. The journey is the destination. And here's the other one. And here's another one on a tilted sort of slopey thing there. And there's a sort of sad looking bird, and then there's, hey, what's going on, kind of looking bird there. Live the life you've imagined. And well, I do like this kind of stamping. Now it's just for me to figure out what to do with this. But this of course is going to be a prototype for my stamping classes or something similar. And then I was in the mood of making it work with some stamps from Vilda Stamps, and I wanted to make it work standing like this. And I just tried the same thing because I didn't have the vellum yet, so I did the same thing here, drew the lines really in a pale version. You can still see them on the nose of the moose or the elk there, and the camera and everything, but I still think that it's all right even if I can see them. So I stamped a couple of images from Vilda Stamps. It's a Swedish stamping company, and just wanted to give it a go, really, to see where I could end up with these things. And as I told you before, I have used Spectrum Noir markers to color these figures in. So it's a rather nice looking technique. In this case I'm thinking that this one could perhaps be put on a sort of a collage notebook or something. It's not a collage, but it's a notebook, and you could have it in the front perhaps, or just make something nice out of this. And then today, this morning, I've actually done this thing. I have been to Liseberg. It's an amusement park in Gothenburg, Sweden, and I sort of wanted to focus on the cogwheels that I saw there and the steampunky touches of things. So I took these photos and I put on a sort of a vintage looking filter on them and printed them out and cut them out so they would be sort of 4 by 4 inches. Here's my friend Anna, and she is just turning the wheels or the cogs. And I just thought that I would go for one of these pictures or photos and make this layout work. So in this case I had this one in mind when I decided on making another template in the Word program in the computer. I mean, it could look like this, but in this case I just adjusted the biggest frame there to fit around the photo. And I made this one on the complete sort of page. And what you do, if you have some vellum and you want to do stamping on vellum, you just put the paper on top and you preferably tape them down. I tape these down on a sort of a round tablet that I can, most regularly you have your plate and a glass and everything there. But in this case I just wanted to have the possibility to just twist this one around, because I do like to stamp from upside down sometimes. So instead of just gluing it down or taping it down to your table, just put it on something that really slides and glides easily. And make sure that you have these in place all the time, and then you can do your stamping on top of the lines really, because you haven't got the lines here yet now, have you? Because this one is translucent or transparent. So you can do your stamping a little bit here and there. You could even go outside the lines like so. And be careful when you are stamping on vellum, because this is a slickery surface, so you need to use an ink pad that will dry sort of quickly. In this case I used archival ink. I used the black color of this one, but this is like what the ink pad looks like. And I sort of took the heat dryer or this heated tool in between and dried the ink up, because well, it had a tendency of smudging all over the place. So do your stamping, take your time, let it dry in between and continue stamping. And when you are happy, you could just go with a pen and just draw the lines accordingly. I mean, you could use a marker pen, of course. In this case, I used a Posca pen that had sort of a broad tip, so I got a really sort of a sketch-looking frame to all of these tiles. And the thing is, if you're going to do some colouring afterwards, I mean, you could just leave everything as it is with black stamping and everything. But if you're going to do some colouring, you need to turn the paper over, because if you stamp and colour on the same page, accidentally you will end up with this. So his face is a little bit smudged up there. But colour on the back side. And the Spectrum Noir markers work really well, and I used the broad tip here just to get some action going, so the colour wouldn't be flat. I really liked it when I got some kind of a texture to it. And I have used lots of stamps, or perhaps not lots, but I've used the stamps from My Paper World, I believe this company is called. Viva Decor is the base company. And this one has got a steampunky touch to it, as well as this one. And this one has got some tools, and they were really nice to work with, I must say, for this big kind of a project. So I'm thinking of making an album for those photos, and in this case I'm thinking of actually making it perhaps an A4 sized completely, but I could see myself putting in smaller pictures in between the pages or something, just to have something different going on. And when it comes to the brown tile or block there, I stamped it with some golden, could it be brilliance? I think it was a brilliance, but with the golden colour. And I just wanted to see how it worked, but it didn't really show that well against the white, so I decided on colouring it in with some dark brown, and that actually makes it pop. And I liked it because it had the golden memories there, so I wanted to emphasize the golden theme there. So this is where I'm at right now, and I'm thinking that I could either just have it loose as it is, or I could just glue this one down onto another piece of paper, so it will actually showcase like this. I might even see myself putting on something more just to create some texture, but I'm not sure. Perhaps this is it, perhaps this is enough. Perhaps it's even more than enough with things to look at. But I must say that I do like this comic strip stamping technique. I have been longing to make something out of it. And as a child I really liked reading comic books and series and magazines, so it's fun to actually make my own comic books. I'm not sure if I'll be making comic book pages for every photo, but here and there could be nice to have something, I think. So I'm going to sign off right now, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.